Hello, everybody, and welcome to Access Technology Group's YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Just want to let you guys know what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be going over company updates, industry updates, answering any of your guys' questions. So if you have any during any of this, don't be afraid to send them over to us. And of course, introducing members of the team. So who better to join us for video number one than President and CEO William Tien. William, how are you doing today?
Fine, very good. Thanks for the invitation.
Great. We're glad to have you here. And this video is really going to be all about you. So what we really want to know is I want you to paint a picture of your background and what put you on the path to where you are now. What motivates you and stuff?
Well, maybe I should say I started back in 1999 when I got my first public listed company, or rather I might come backwards back in 1995 where we did the first mobile phone wallets on Nokia and Palm. So we actually came back from the earliest day where we are doing pages, mobile phone, internet, ICANN, the mean installing of ICANN address and everything around the world. Then of course, blockchain, and the next one we are actually going towards quantum. So we actually, I'm on my third round of technology revolution. So we not only witness, participate, and also be part of it.
Gotcha. So you've always sat on the cutting edge then when it came to this.
Yeah, that's the good part and the bad part, because every time we're trying to tell somebody that email was good and selling email dollars at $20, and then one day Hotmail came up for free Hotmail, and now, you know, business always changes the model. And when you start to send ringtone for people to make money through, I mean, we make money from that at the end of the day, then the all phone comes up with a ringtone. So every time when we deploy a certain technology, we are ahead of time, even pre-blockchain times. That's what we're doing.
All right, so yeah, that's interesting. When you're on the cutting edge, it sounds like it's a continuous game of staying on the cutting edge, as you said, as things continue to grow and evolve and innovation continues to happen. So is that what really appeals to you? Is that what drives you? Is kind of staying on your toes in this field?
Yes, of course, it drives me on technology. It's just like you get hungry every time. It just happens to, how do you put it this way? The more you get into technology, the more hungry you are, that you want to know what is the next adventure or the next challenge that we are getting in. Like, for instance, looking at going after a nice, pretty girl, and always first you want to know her. You want to know what we can develop, and at the end of the day, either you like it or you regret it. So this is the technology stage that we always gone through in my life.
That's that's fair. You know, I remember a famous motivational speaker would always say, "Stay hungry, stay on the prowl." So you're definitely doing that. And so tell me, same way. Tell me how you got involved with Access Technologies. How did this happen? How did you wind up as president and CEO?
So my day job is actually restructuring public listed companies around the world. This is my 29th public listed company in the last 20 years. So my first public company is in Australia back in 1999 from Australia. Then I got a US public company. So that's also, I went into the life cycle of what we call revamping public listed shell around the world, from US, Australia, London, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and even as high as Korea. So we actually physically got involved and using the shell structure to look at it. The reason why I look at this is that Axis was selected because we were prepared. And I would say my first public company was TimeMac back in 1999. The rest of the 27 public company was actually just to go up there and make money for myself as a consultant, as a shareholder, as whatever it is. But they never never my business. It's always my partner's business. So back in 1999, my first public company called TimeMac. When I finished the structure, we are ahead of technology. Everything was unbelievable, cannot be done. Payment cannot be done on internet. Nobody having enough mobile phone, and the mobile phone was not smart mobile phone. All the hurdles we had to get through. And now where everything is already available, we are now ready to get in. And it's actually much more easier for me to get in because we understand the feelings of the user, the market trend. It's just like rebirth of internet in blockchain. So in other words, is that whatever we had done 20 years ago is repeat, but instead of taking 20 years to develop to today, it will be 2 to 5 years. That's what we see.
Interesting. Yeah, I would say now the time is right, the technology is there, and the industry is ready. Would be fair to say, right?
Yes, the industry is ready for two things. Number one is the environment force you to have. If we don't have this COVID in the last 2 years, I think pushing any Europeans or Americans to actually stay and look at mobile phone because there's nothing else to do. This is also one of the time that we actually got so lucky that we have this transition.
Yeah, I would say COVID has accelerated the Western world's focus on the mobile phone. I think that's probably the best way to put it. I think the technological revolution was kind of already underway, pretty strong, but COVID really put an accelerator on it. It was really a catalyst for what's going on now. And what I'm curious then is, tell me about what your role actually looks like. Tell us about like the day-to-day work that you actually do for the company.
The two companies that we acquired is actually called Chat and AXTG, which is an Australia licensed digital exchange since 2018. Chat was actually started from Hong Kong, and then we moved to Singapore because of the compliance requirement. So there's a social media chat. So these two product already has what we call between one is 5.5 years, one is 3.5 years of development. We have the development team, everything. So what I see the next round is, if I don't have a company that is ready to support these two companies, I will end up to either I'll be doing two business running with two group of investors rather than I group back and put into Axis Technology. So I put everything in-house. We acquired the two companies on a very low cost, one for 10, one for $7 million, which actually worth more than that. But we intend to actually keep the value of Axis Technology to actually grow by itself. We want to demonstrate to everybody that at the end of the day, Axis itself, don't look at whatever the price today, look at what we can deliver. So the two companies, Chat will move in probably about by next 12 months to 18 months, about 2 to 20 million user, which is actually Ethereum wallet user. I'm not talking about any user that I can get in the marketplace, which we already have a database back in China and Hong Kong. Then the other one is digital exchange, which is actually a licensed digital exchange in Australia. So that's how we actually be able to meet the regulatory compliance and in the crypto business. So I take the exchange more like a money changer. I take this Chat more like a social media platform, where a good model is actually WeChat, which they already have more than 1.4 billion people. 95% of them actually uses the services, where foreigners, when they have WeChat, they only use the chat platform, but not able to pay anything. Whereas this, the platform that we have here, we can do everything in crypto. And we already have the Android out in the market for one and a half month, already demo, and have close to about 28,000 users download just on Android. On a test flight, we have 30 over for iOS, which we are going to launch before end this month. And that's how I'm here, taking a US entity to actually prepare the company for the next agenda that we have planned. And in order to sustain this business, we have mining operation that we already have been working on. Both Chat and AXTG actually earn is actually Ethereum through Ethereum mining. We actually support the company for the last 5.5 years for the Chat, which 2 years ago we actually supported by mining. We have four miners inside there to actually keep the company running. So our miners are actually high-end miners. We do about 2 Ethereum a month each miner. So it helps to support this. So by using the proof concept that we are successful, we actually bring to the public company to do a Reg A here for $10 million that will be starting next month through our lawyers. So that 60% of the fund will be actually invested in mining, and all God's blessing, where China is pushing away from mining, we actually coming into mining in US. And also our latest technology using water power technology. So our miners are actually going to be certified. I won't say 100% under life cycle management. I'll be about 95% green. So this is what we'll be doing here in US, promoting the company.
Interesting. Yeah, it is really a good time with the mining industry in the Western world because China is moving out of it. You're seeing them fly their miners out of the country. So at this point, the U.S. and all of the Western world is in a good spot to really build up their strength in it, build up their hash rate, right? So that's really interesting. Ethereum's a great choice. I really support that. I actually have 3 Ethereum miners myself, so I'm 100% on board with you guys there. So, William, if there was one thing you would say people should be excited about and look forward to in the future, what would you say that is?
I'll look at the DeFi and I'll look at the NFT.
Mhm.
I wouldn't actually call NFT a non-fungible token. I classify NFT as digital assets. It's just like we put in the old world where in the internet days, email is your crypto, web pages is your NFT. So you must understand that NFT just been launched in the last 2 years, but actually only started less than 9 months ago. So now we are at the stage of speed development, many type of NFT coming out, but this is still not ready. So you'll be at least, I mean, of course, making $1 billion, but this is the trend that we are going. So we expect about a steady growth of NFT in such a way they'll be going more for digital assets. So if you are looking at digital assets, and also because we already have planned this for 2 years, so we actually even our own platform, eFund, will actually have NFT that is already prepared, and we even just finished our NFT documentary movie that will be launched in about 10 days in Cox Cable Network. This is my first time I'm able to be in Hollywood, have this NFT documentary, and we have NBA like Mitch Richmond, we have Tony Awards and all the famous Hollywood star, A-list star in our interview. So to tell you that the world that they like this NFT, they don't know this NFT, and they want to know about NFT, which is part of our development in Axis. So we actually go end to end. That means what happened? TianChat provides the last mile, just like WeChat. And the TA exchange becomes our money changer. The NFT platform becomes our assets preservation and also assessing and also paying dividends and royalty. So all the whole set is almost all in the structure of Axis, and that's the growth that Axis will be looking in the next 2 years.
Wonderful. Well, William, I think you did a pretty good job of introducing yourself and giving people a good overview. But if anyone has any questions about anything, we'll very happily answer them. So go ahead and leave one below. But for now, thank you everybody for watching, and stay tuned. We'll get you some more exciting information over the wire as soon as we can. William, thank you so much for making the time today.
Thank you, Michael, and have a good day. Bye.